Good morning. Excuse me. It may be possible to get an earlier cheat entry into DXYZ at 2550. Okay, I'm going to get ready for that just in case. DXYZ. It's less confirmed, but better reward to risk ratio, so pays for itself. Hey, there you are. Good morning, Michael. I usually go live a few minutes before 9, but usually around 9. In case you're trying to figure that, when to. But it shows that I'm on Twitch, and that means I'm on everything. I'm in this NCL, just got in. Still an opportunity to get in right now. Stop at 48 cents. NCL. Got all my profit targets set. I'm also in DJT. That was alerted. And a couple profit targets hit there already as well. Okay, see, if we can get above 2540, it looks like. I'm going to switch over to DXYZ. On DXYZ, there could be an earlier entry. Let me see what that exact price is. Yeah, 2541. So like 2545, stop to 2350 is about a $2 a risk. So, okay. $2 a risk per share. Oh, there was this go. I think it might be getting there now. I was about to look at something else, but better pay attention. I tried to get on Twitch a few minutes ago, but couldn't get into my account. Oh yeah, no worries. Okay, boom, there it is. Okay, let's make sure. Okay, I'm having to chase. Okay, now I'm in at 25.49 for exactly $2 a risk per share to a stop of 23.50. Now I immediately will set up all my exits, and that would be 25 shares, half of 50, 25 shares, so approximately 2 shares every $20 for me, because my risk unit is $100 and 2 to 1 is $200. And remember, we went over this last night. So here I go. You see, you can see me doing it in action now. Okay, boom. Fully set up now. Market's going to open in 20 minutes. Technically, in case I'm overloaded mentally when the market opens and we're still in this, I can put my stop here as well. And that's at 23.50. So I'll put it at 23.49. But a stop sell order only works when the market is open. So that looks like that. You able to see that, Michael? My first take profit is somewhere in there. Let's see, like 25.89. So around here. The whole risk unit is pretty wide. See, so might be too wide. All right, pulling up that prop account that I've got going. So I got to keep an eye on that every day as well. Can't just forget about that. And I did find out that the prop account only functions with stocks, at least, during market hours, not during extended hours. That's fine. I mean, hey, if you know that, you know that at least. No surprises. So, and I am halfway through the qualification at plus 4,000. And I've been taking partial profits on my positions. I'm not even fully allocated. I really should be. I just can't find anything else. I'm in Amazon Coin, Tesla, and Nvidia. And have, let's see, I think possibly I have $85,000 allocated. They give you a bunch of margin. I'm still not clear on like the whole margin thing. I'm not ready to sort of see how much can I max it out. But it looks like you can leverage. I don't know what it is for stocks. For Forex, I know it's 50 to 1. But I get the feeling it's 5 to 1 for stocks, which is insane. In other words, if you get a $100,000 account, you can control $500,000 worth of allocation. Oh, and guess what else I found out, Michael? I'm working with their team, so like I've been giving them suggestions and stuff, and they take them to heart, and they make the updates and that. So I'm really integral to this place, shaping up. But check this out. I found out that they refund your fee if you win, if you qualify. So in other words, if you pay to qualify, and then if you fail, they keep the fee. That's how they make their money. But if you qualify and you get all the way through and then verify, it goes qualify, then verify, and then live funded trading account. If you get all the way through, they'll refund that fee. You have to wait until your first payout. When you get yourself going with a first payout, and they'll include it in your first payout. So that's pretty awesome. That takes a lot of sting out of the whole thing. Because it's about 1% of the account. Well, actually, it goes up and it discounts from there. So like a $10,000 account is like $100 to try for. But a $100,000 account is like $350 to try for. So it's actually not $1,000 to try for. It's much better. It's only $350. I think something like that. Okay, I'm not going to put my words into my mouth or whatever. Let me see. Oops. Okay, back. And show it here. $110. And then refund if you make it through to phase 3. This is for a $10,000 account, $110. But using my code, Evan Discount, you'll get 20% off that, which is, I don't know. Okay, 110 times 0.8, $88. Not too bad. Now, if you bump up to a $100,000 account, you would think it would be $1,100, like the same proportion. But okay, it's $542 with my discount. That's $433. So, you know, when you're ready for that level, it's there, and it's cheaper par on par than if you're getting a $10,000 account. All right. So anyway, very cool. Here's I think let's see if I log in. Yeah, you can see my stuff. I'm gonna move this. Well, that's all right. So you can see all my positions. You can see so far based on closed positions. Oh, that's not correct. It's actually over 700. That must be per day. But I am, as you can see down here, 50% of the way through. 2 days out of 4 of the way through. I've had 9 closed positions, all of them profitable. As far as profit goes, it's growing and growing. I'm almost completely through on the thing. $104,000 is where I am right now. Currently holding $3,300 in profit. The rest has been taken. So there you go on that. I think we're hitting some profit targets on something. NCL, something I got in NCL. Yeah, over here, this one is breaking out now. I got in. I was just telling you about that, Michael. 48-cent stop. And it is now moving, and I'm getting profits taken out. I've hit 3 profit targets now out of the 10 that I set for the 50% to the 2 to 1. And we have 12 or so minutes before the market opens. So you can see the profits targets that have been hit already because these are fills. You see this column is called fills. There was another profit target hit. That's 4 PTs. There's 5 PTs hit. That is moving along. That is NCL. I mentioned it when you first got in here to get in that the stop would be 48 cents. Now I'm already halfway to my. I'm at 1 to 1. I'm halfway to my 2 to 1. So I'm 25% out of my position. This is all this math checking out and making sense to you, Michael? See, if I'm halfway to my 2 to 1 and I'm trying to get half from there, then I've taken out 25% of my position. NCL, TIVC, Devs, Indy, DXYZ. Basically, stop at 2350 gets you into DXYZ. You can get in now at the 2550 breakout, or you can wait for the 2650 breakout. Either way. DJT is moving. I'm looking for any other opportunities, but don't forget it's Friday. Fridays are kind of duds. But sometimes, perhaps when rates have just been cut and a capitalist is moving into the White House, sometimes those Fridays can be good. FiveN is up 24%. 5.9. This could be a potential swing trade entry, but it would have to get above 47, which it could do on an extraordinary day like today, which is earnings release. Nine minutes to the market open. FiveN. Do I want it? I don't know. I mean, it's nothing but a downtrend, and today will be the first day. Yeah, so it's kind of too early to tell. So probably not. FiveN Upstart light. Not enough volume. Upstart has 1.3 million shares traded. Kind of fading. It's popping above there. It's probably because it got bought up heavily into the earnings. It's probably going to sell off on the open. It's really close to breaking a key pivot level at 72.50. It's at 65. As a swing trade, that's nearby. Potentially, that could be a good swing trade position. Upstart. So I think we. Oh yeah. So I am watching it over here, but I'm gonna have to zoom it up a little bit. Get a little bit of a closer eye on it. Kang, 18% Upstart, Elab. Market cap wise, one of the bigger ones. Sony is up 6%. I mean, I like to see the chart. There's Lucid is moving as well. Start Lucid, no way. Sony, yeah, it's a commodity, a value stock, not a growth stock. At this point, excuse me. WBTN, Bill, Light, Source, CTMX, DXYZ, Tost, Sony. That's it. I think we're on top of every opportunity here. There's Kang and PRCH. Not enough volume. Same thing on Kang. All right. 6.5 minutes to the open. Hey, by the way, Monday's a holiday. There'll be no market open on Monday. I'm probably going to use that day to just catch up on sleep. Michael. Oh my gosh. Did you know that class last night was I think it was 4 hours long. Yeah. It was like 3:42 or something. Crazy. NRGV. Let me see. No, not enough volume. Essentially, what we're looking for every morning are hot stocks. And if it doesn't have volume or unprecedented or historically significant volume, it doesn't matter if it's up. It's too thin. It's not liquid. It's probably not going to hold. It's not going to have the momentum. Price is not everything. Also, volume needs to be there. And also, it needs to be like moving up. It needs to be progressing. It can't just be up 20% because it was up 100% and it's declined 80%. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was late. I don't mind. It was really good. All right, that's good. I don't mind either. I didn't even know that, though. I just, said what had to be said. And it went however long it went. All right. 4.5 minutes in the market open. I got to think of an acronym for that, Michael. An easy one would be CompX. But I don't know what that would stand for. But an acronym that the word kind of says very closely, approximately, like what it does. Like one of them could be that I was looking at is RISE. What were some of them? Let me see if I can pull it up. Oh, what? Okay, hold on. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Expand, rise, boost. Like if I can get an acronym that works out of boost, just call it the Evan. That's funny. Lift. I like that one. Lift. And ChatGPT. I've been trying to brainstorm with ChatGPT. And as far as lift goes, it could stand for leveraged incremental free roll technique. That's pretty close. Not bad. ChatGPT is a very helpful tool. Stack, that could be the word. Scale. Forge was one I was looking at. Free roll oriented reinvestment growth enhancement. Forge. I wanted to say, what could it do with flux? Flux capacitor. Free roll, leveraged. I don't know. Yeah, ChatGPT will be good at bringing it all together. Free scale. I like that one. Free scale. Kind of. Okay, did the market just open? Oh, I just got an up. I saw my prop page sort of change on me. Okay, no, it did not. Market's opening in 2 minutes. Oh, I accidentally moved my sidebar. Oh, no, I don't even need my sidebar. What am I talking about? Okay, there we go. In Thinkorswim. Expand, rise, boost, lift, stack, scale, forge, surge, lift up. Because I think a lift could be good, but maybe a word that's even more on point. I can't really think of it. It's like we're cyclically, incrementally. I love that. That could be the I in whatever the word could be. We're incrementally free rolling technique, something like that. Repeated incremental free roll technique. Repeated incremental free roll technique. That would be Rift. I don't know if that makes any sense. Lift makes more sense. So anyway, figure that out. We'll figure that out. Acronyms are are great ways to like name systems, I've found. It's harder to just call it something. It's nice if you can come up with a great acronym. Great acronym. You know, because that kind of brands it. You know, kind of trademarks it in some sense, if you will. SUGP. That's not coming up on my scans though. So it's probably going down. Pinterest is down. All right, market's open. All right, Upstart's looking like it wants to move up. That'd be definitely contrary to what I believe, which is that I believed it was going to sell off. Indy, maybe an entry. NCL Indy. Indy with a stop at 440. 440 could become an entry. We got to keep an eye on it. Indy. Maybe it's not even up very much though, the magnitude wise. Yeah, it's only 28%. I'm just going to skip it. It's a Friday. We don't need to mess with the Friday-less liquidity, you know what I mean? You're watching DXYZ, potentially getting out of Lycee, which was a position I was hoping would move up, but no, it has broken down. Good. I'm just glad to have something off my radar. All right, Upstart's happening. We got to go over there. We got to figure risk, and we got to figure this out here. 64 stop. It's basically at 68 right now. I got to keep Indy up. Upstart. 64 stop. 68 $4 risk. So for me, it's about $25. 25 shares rather. Perfect. 68.13. And now I hope it holds. It's really early to get in right at the market open like that, but that's a lot of strength. 64 stops, the bottom of the day. That's an NLB style stop. Never look back. Stop at 64. Now, technically, I can immediately go in and set up those exits. So I don't have to think about them. That's what I'm doing on another screen right now. I just got my first PT on Upstart. Now I'm looking forward to this Upstart snowballing into a big position. It may take a month or two, but man, Upstart, that's a cool one. You know, it could have a lot of oomph. Oh, I just hit one or two more targets on Upstart. Indy, okay, it's time to get in over there for 50 cents of risk on Indy. In the meantime, I got to put a stop on over here underneath. What did I say? 64? 64 on Upstart. 64. So, okay, put the stop right there. Okay, so Upstart is literally like, I don't even have to think about it. That's all the targets are set. Am I in Indy? Yes, I'm in Indy, and now I've got to set up all those exits as well. I have 200 shares, so half of that is 100. So my 10 exits will be 10 shares each. And I go and I just start putting those in. 5, 10. So I just look at my PL open here. I'm doing 10, 20, 40, 60, 80. And it's just automatically taking care of the math for me by using that. Very helpful. And I'm making sure that's good to cancel extended orders so that they last for many days. So it can be a swing trade on Indy. But it's really a day trade. But it can work as a swing trade too. You know? If it would, then it can. All right, all my profit targets are set there, and then I can set a 100 share for the other half of the position. Stop loss, that's good till cancel. Not good till cancel extended, but good till cancel. And that's going to be at 450. A breakdown of 450 level will mean get all out. There it is, sell 100, stop, good till cancel. That's it. Now I don't even need to think about that anymore. That's all set up. Oh, DXYZ is not following through. That's not good. TIVC may break out. TIVC. Of pre-market highs. We're coming up on them. Where's my Indy? So I just hit a target on Indy, and it might have been the stop loss. Let me double check. No, it was taking another target out. Okay, good. That was my first target. Okay, I hit first partial out exit on Indy. Now TIVC, I gotta do volume analysis on this. I mean, I guess it looks good, but it's really freaking scraggly. But if it breaks 60 cents, you put your stop at 40 cents, so 20 cents of risk. So for $100, it's 500 shares. I'm going to go over there and set that up. TIVC for a break of the 60 cent level, 500 shares, get in. If it breaks it, 60 cents level, shit, it's coming like a little bit kind of too fast. Okay, hold on. Don't break it yet. I can put a stop buy order there at 60 cents. Okay, good. It's really close. Okay, there's 60 cents. I'll put it at 60 cents and 1/10 of a penny. A buy stop of 500 shares. There we go. All right, so that might happen. I need to flatten out of DXYZ, apparently. Yeah, I'm at my stop now. But because I took a bunch of profits, I did not hit a full negative 1R. So that's good. Let me just double check all my positions, see if anything's running away from me. I'm at $5,000 now, equity over on the One Stop account. Here, I'll show you what I'm going to do right here. So I thumb through my position. I'm going to go to coin and see if I've progressed any further. As a matter of fact, I've progressed so far, it's about to sell everything I have. So that's good and bad because I might want to actually raise my target now. It's like doing really well. So that's how I do that. I just move it up like that. Did you see that? And right now I will take out a bunch. That's a coin. So now to take out a bunch, you go over to coin here and you click this partial close. I'm going to get rid of 9 shares right here on this nice progress. So I'm closing out some profit. Profit closed. Boom. Just like that, instant. Going over to NVIDIA. Are we doing better on NVIDIA? Let's see. Yes, NVIDIA is moving along. And how much along are we to our stop? I mean, our take profit. Yeah, just another point. So I'm going to take out 5 shares of that. I have 95 left. Boom. Closing that out. The partial profits, very important to everything. That's NVIDIA. Now I go over to Amazon. Amazon hasn't really made further progress. So, all right, that's it. So far, you know, that's how we do this. Swing trading, 2 to 1. 50% of your profits at 2 to 1. And that's what I'm doing. I'm taking all those partials all along the way. And so now I'm sitting at $5,000 in profits in equity over there on that. TIVC never hit 60 cents and it's pulling back kind of hard. And it's been doing that. I kind of don't love it. I'm going to just skip TIVC even if it does well. I'm not in love with the price action on it. Just don't like it. Okay. Now, looking through everything else I've got going on here. Let's just double check all the positions we just got in first, though. DJT not hitting our stop, but it did pull back at the open. Upstart continues to move up. Good. NCL has pulled back after we hit half of our targets. Fine. Let's see how that progresses. Indy, we got 3 partials out, and it's hanging out up there. Very nice. And DXYZ, Indy. DXYZ. Yeah, I flattened out of that because it pretty much slamming lows. It's very interesting, DXYZ, but it's also very difficult. Look, if you can just take easier trades, choose them. You don't have to conquer everything. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to check on some of my positions. There's another PT on Upstart. So Upstart's moving along. I'm not going to get into TIFC. I don't know, put Upstart up there for the moment so you can watch that. See, I've gotten 4 partials out already on Upstart. I'm going to move some of my stops up on NVIDIA above my entry, so now I cannot lose money. But I can't snowball because that's Amazon. And as you can see, there's nowhere to raise my stop yet. My initial stop is still in play. You know, we talked about this last night. Good morning. As I rub the sleep from my eyes. Yeah, no kidding. Me too. I mean, that's how I feel right now. But, you know, we're making it happen. Okay, so I'm going to go and check on my positions as everything else is sort of taken care of here. Hang on. I got one thing going against me. What is this? NCL. Okay, I got a lot of profits out on that. But it has pulled back all the way back to my entry. Is that correct? Yes. Usually, after taking that many profits out, I like to cut it when it comes back to my break even. I'm going to check and see if I should let it breathe. Let's see. No, it's just a red failure. Okay, I'm going to mitigate out a little bit right here. If it happens to do better from here, then I'll keep mitigating out. But I'm probably going to flatten if it continues to degrade. Everything else is doing okay. Now, IonQ is continuing. What I need to do now is I need to carefully look at all my positions and see if anything is triggering a what, guys? A what? Michael and Randy. What am I hoping for on all my swing positions? I will pull them up, and I'm hoping to see if I can raise my stop, right? Because then the magic starts happening. We're stop hunters. So it's not happening on IonQ, but I am taking profits out of that regularly. Those are all set up. App, same thing. I can't raise my stop. There's no pivot. Palantir, same thing. Continue to take profits. Lumen, same thing. Continue to take profits. No new stop. Fat, nice. It's coming back up to my break even. No profits taken yet, but it went all the way back down to the stop, and now it's coming back up. Geo, continuing on, looks great. No stop raising there. Powell, it could potentially move your stop under here if it were to break out. Potentially. I'd rather see like a base like this, like a 1 or 2 week base to move my stop up. But sometimes these things just go vertical. So, you know, when that day comes, if it throttles above, if it capitulates over these levels up here, you could potentially move your stop here and add on. The problem with that is next day could come down lower, and you know it's going to put in a mature base. You know, it's not a mature place to raise your stop. Powell, FTCI, NXL. Yeah. See now over on NXL, it broke out here. I could raise my stop to here. And in fact, that's what I'll do mentally. I'm going to raise my stop to there, to that pivot. But that doesn't really change anything because remember, the stop needs to get above your initial entry in order for you to add on. Raise your stop. That's right, Benny. Evan, I'm going to look at all my positions and I'm looking for, and then a commercial break pops up. NXL Kava. That's, yeah, funny. Ah, look at Kava. Perfect situation. We got it. Okay, we're gonna get in there. We're gonna do it now. Watch, you guys. This is you're gonna watch live how I convert a position into risk free. So I have 6 shares at 129.74. I want to raise my stop to 129.74. Shit, guess what, guys? The stop level that I want to raise to is my break even, so I don't get to add. I don't get to add. But what I do get to do is I get to raise my stop to right around my positions, where my position entry was. And it's just coincidentally just happens to be break even. So I'm free rolling on that position. But I didn't get to add on. That would be nice. It's just not set up that way. You understand? Did you understand what just happened there by looking at it? Got another partial out on Upstart. NCL is still dropping. I'm going to go take a look at that. I might have to cut it. NCL. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and cut it out right there because I think it's going to bleed red all day now. All right, I'm out of NCL. That was another partial on Upstart just taken. Upstart is moving along. I can show you that right here. Did you guys understand? No answer. Yes, Michael understood. And as we watched it, and we understood the decisions there as to that if we can raise our stop, and that's fine, happens to coincidentally, it's just a coincidence, line up with our initial entry that we got way like a month earlier. So now we're at a free roll or a break even or zero risk. And but we can't add on because of that, because we talked about that last night, the specifics mathematically why. All right, Upstart moving along very nicely. I'm going to take a look at my prop again. I'm just going to keep a check on there. Amazon staying flat. Coin moving higher. Moves up a bit more to like 272. I'll take out some more on Coin. Nvidia kind of pulled back to a consolidation level. Upstart, I only have 2 partials left. You know, this is what I'm looking at on Upstart. See, I got in here, and now it's almost at 2-to-1 already. It's a great place to be on a swing trade that you hope to snowball. Yes, because if you add on here, it would move your break even. I mean, you're wrong about what you said, but I think it's just early and we're tired. I think you understand everything. You would just have to like double check what you're saying, and you'd find where you were wrong. The correction is what you would have said there is yes, no, you can't add on, or whatever the yes is. Whatever, anyway, that's neither here nor there. But you said because if you what did you say? Hold on there. So anyway, you said yes. Okay, because if you add on here, it would move your break even above my stop, right? And that's what we talked about last night. Because if I add on here, yes, above. Right. You figured it out already. If you add it on there, it would move your break even, your average cost, above the stop. And that may or may not be good. You can work out the math. That's for like, you guys have mastered this stuff for a year, and then we do an advanced class, because it's possible that the math works out on that and you can actually do it. But the scary part, and the reason why I say don't do that is because, there, I got another partial out on Upstart, is because you're increasing your position size now, and you're not at zero risk. You still have a distance from your new cost average to the stop. So you'd have to work out the math and see if, you lose $100 or less, or whatever your risk unit is, because technically then you could. But I say don't even get in trouble like that. Don't mess around with it. Like, don't be adding when you could still lose. You want to ideally only add if the new cost average can be at your stop or even below it, and the stop will be higher. Then you're trapping profits. There's, you can do anything you want up and around, through all that. DJT, Donald J. Trump, I'm getting partials out on that. That was a position. That's a pre-market breakout on DJT, and I told you I sent an alert, which you almost never see. I sent an important alert this morning. You had just a few minutes to get in on DJT, saying that it is doing a red dog pivot reclaim, a very special lowest entry signal possible ever. You can ever get on anything is a red dog pivot reclaim. It's impossibly low. Look where I got in. I'll show you a DJT. I got in this morning right here. That was a signal. It's very hard to get entry signals at lows. Usually it has to be a low cheat, which is a price coming above an inner pivot. Okay, this is insanely special entry. So, and I'm super happy because the risk unit is really small as well. Those red dog pivot reclaim entries are phenomenal entries. I should be able to use the profits and the fact that I got in here to potentially snowball a DJT position from here. And if it's going to keep going, that's going to be, incredible. Okay, I'm almost about to hit my 10th profit target on Upstart. That's right. You can see that here and all those profit targets I've taken on the right side with the fills. And that's great. It's just a great place to be. And that moving forward, it gives me some padding moving forward. It's eventually add on in the swing context. What did you say? Yeah. On DGT. What makes that an entry? Let me check something. Yeah, it's part of the premium strategies in my market mastery. Here's the link. Oh, it won't paste the link. Wait, if I right click and paste it, it does. Okay, boom. So I don't know if you were offered a discount on that. If you need a discount on that, let me know. But there's classes in there that talk about that. I call it the magic entry, and it's a whole class about it. It's too much to explain. Now, what was I just about to do? Check on my positions. They're all doing good. And also check on my prop account, which is still at plus 5,000 out of 8,000. Remember, my target's 8,000, remember. It's going to be harder to reach it now because as I've sold off but not added any positions, I'm asking what little I have left to perform really well. You see what I'm saying? So I need to find some shit to get into over on my prop account. But in my account, I'm up $500,000 so far this morning. That's good, my personal account. And I still need to be going down my list, and I also need to check if anything's souring. Like this one, LX. I got to check on it. Okay, it's back to my break even, but it's kind of progressing, zigzagging up and out. This one on LX, you guys should notice everything that I've been teaching you. There's a lot here. It goes up, it comes down, it's putting in some pivots. It looks like it starts to tighten up, a very good sign. Then it breaks. That's a low cheat entry. And guess what? That's where I got in. That's your best entry right there, other than the red dog reclaim. And then Right now, that could have been an entry with a stop at that point, right? Same stop, but I got a better entry. And this thing is now progressing along. And what I like to call probably pole positioning before ER. That is probably what's going on over there. And yeah, maybe if I can raise my stop tomorrow, if we get a signal up above this pivot for an entry, no, but that stop would not be above my break even. So I couldn't, but it would be nice if I could increase my position size before earnings. That would be nice. Not going to happen though. All right, that's LX. Even as bad as that's doing today, that's my worst position today. It's in a good spot. Good thing. I have about 50 positions. Futu. See, that's cutting into my risk range. Madrigal coming back after having taken some profits along the way. ACIW, same, coming back after taking a lot of profits. Magical ACIW Sound. Back to my break even. Good. That's where I want to be. Lift. Kind of pulling back. I don't have an indication as to what my plan was over there. It's about 60% to my stop right now. So I might be having to get out of lift if it doesn't pick up soon. Aris. Okay, very high tight flag. This is good. This is good action. Aris Oklo. Nice. Staying high and tight. Oh, by the way, it looks like Tesla is improving today, one of our positions. This is one that I added on, I think 3 times or something. So this is snowballing very nicely. However, this is a PCS version, so I got to check on basically what Michael was saying is that my lower position might be at almost like 95% profit already, and I might as well just close it. So it doesn't snowball. So that's the thing. The PCSs are not going to snowball. Yeah, because they have a limited profit that they can make. I got to work out the math and think through it a little bit more, but just roughly speaking, with our conversation last night and just like here we are right now this morning talking about it again, I think you don't get the snowball effect. You don't get the multiplication effect but you should still get in the new position on the same thing, but because the bottom trade has a limited maximum profit it can make. And so then you would need to just close out the bottom trade and just be happier in the new trade. But so it's kind of like a good argument for going shares instead of PCS, depending on what it is. If you really think it's going to snowball, like if you're interested in something that might snowball, you might want to go in for shares. And then Netflix looks like we're getting some continuation there. Very nice. Wolf, I'm getting some continuation there. Very, very nice. PRM. Okay, that's just hanging in there. Very nice. VRT pulling back a little bit. Yeah, but still hanging up there. APLT sitting up there nicely situated. CDXC, same. I'm looking pretty on those, no add-on points, but I'm still looking pretty on those. TSM continuing to be higher, but it's kind of selling off on that upper move up there. On. Oh, hang on one second. TSM. It doesn't raise my stop. It's the same stop, but the new stop is underneath this pivot here. On. Looking good. It's getting close to earnings. I'm probably going to close that out before earnings because that's a PCS. Went through all those. LX, Futu, Magical, ACIW, Sound, RS, Google. Google pulling back after making some strides on our position. Lyft, we just took a look at. Rocket Lab, I think it is. RKLB, Rocket Lab, yes. Yeah, it's almost 2-to-1 that I've hit on Rocket Lab. I still have a couple profits left to take out. But the stop is not raising. I would like that. I would like for it to pull back like this, or even to stay up there like that, and then earnings come out, and it's like way up here, And guess what? That becomes my new stop level, $12.94 or $13. And that is above my break even. And as you can see, the distance between my break even and the old stop and the raising to the new stop is pretty large. And so that should increase my positions and give me the opportunity to increase my position size double or triple or quadruple. We'll see where it opens in a couple of days. And if it does indeed create that kind of a setup. But you got to be able to think ahead. LTBR needs to get up and get going. Oklo, we looked at a minute ago. That's doing fine. Reddit's above my break even and hanging up there, nice, high, and tight. Amazon, I am in as a snowballing pilot position. Amazon Nvidia, I'm also in. Nice. I would love to raise my stop on Nvidia, but that's not coming yet. Vimeo, good, staying right up there. Shake Shack, all right, staying up there. Riot, no new stop created. Riot, looking good. NN, whew, this is like a vertical. That should have gone through my 2-to-1 for sure. So I got to double check. I'm going to go take a look. I'm going to go through my order history. Did I in fact get all my 50% exits there? So I'm pulling that up now. Yeah. Come on. It's not showing. Trade history. How long is that going to take for it to search it up? Come on. And then give it to me. Give me my trade history. Swim's just taking a while on that. Maybe I should just choose something else and then come back to it. There, see? Instantly it come up. All right, so I initially got 113 shares, and I sold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times about 60 shares. And so, yes, I've taken out all of my 50% to the 2-to-1, and it's still going. It's a beautiful thing. If it has, this is a class that we haven't done yet, but if it has a big push, like something like this day here, or this one, on that day, you should take some more out of the 50% position that you have left. But if it doesn't, just let it bake in the oven. Just keep holding. Let's see. That's NN, CNVS. Okay. IJIC. All right. I can probably raise my stop on that one. IJIC. See, to this level here, 2116. But looks like, okay, let's take a look at this IJIC. Look at the order history. I'm just going to quickly check on all our day trades, though. Make sure I don't have to exit out of anything. Wow, DXYZ did go. Look at that. There it is over here. It did finally go. I knew it could, but it's a little bit crazy of a stock and hard to be in. That's what I was telling you this morning. So, there it goes. If any of you got it, I told you 26.50 for entry, 23.50 for stop. That would have been exactly correct. And I got in at 25.50 earlier entry, but got stopped out. But the second entry, the one that I talked about this morning, that was good. And there you go. That was the potential entry. All right. Lycee, which I dumped earlier, is dumping. Glad I did. What I was about to do is IJIC. Okay. So I'm good on everything I'm holding at the moment. Let's go over to IJIC and check the order history. Okay, I opened with 103 shares. Oh yeah, that's right there. And I got out 43.15.555. 43.15.5. There's been more exits. On the 6th, I got 5 more out. That was this day at 23.48. Making a note of it on the chart there. You can kind of see how the trade progressed. And then yesterday, I got out more at 23.98, which is 23.98, and that completes my 50% to the 2-to-1 exits, I believe. 43. I have 100. So what I have left now is IJIC. IJIC, where are you? Where are you, IJIC? Why can't I find it and see it? IJIC, there it is. Okay. I have 30 shares left. Now, I have not done any add-on. Oh, I did. There was an add-on. 103 in. No, there was. I have not done any add-ons. I was able to raise my stop to break even. You know, that's a mental process. That's not. There's nothing actually going on. That's just you're looking at the chart and you're going, yeah, I can raise my stop to break even here because of the way it is. But now I can move my stop all the way to 21. Put that in there. Right here at 21, you see, I can raise my stop at 21 because it broke out, and now that's a higher low pivot. A higher pivot low would be the way to say that. And the idea now, okay, so let's pull it up. I guess I will be able to add some shares here, okay, so I'm going to show you how this works. I pulled up IJIC. Now, my cost basis is 19.4, way down here. I now want to raise my cost basis to this stop level, 21, so I can maximize my leverage. So if I buy, so I have 30 shares times 19.4089, and I'm looking to add some number of shares times some price, which, like, for example, right now the price is 24.17, and then divide by all those new number of shares. Let's call it 60. Let's call it doubling it and see what happens. If I do that, my stop will get raised. My cost average will get raised to 21.79. That's too high. I want my stop. I want my break even to equal my stop. So it's a complete free roll. So what about if I add 20? That would be 50 shares total. New cost basis is 21.31. So that's too many. How about adding 10 more? That would give me a total of 40. 20.60. So I can actually get more than that. So let's try 12. 20.77. So let's try 14. 20.92. So how about adding one more share for 15 share add-on here? 20.99. So that's it. I'm going to add 15 shares. Now, another way you can do that is you can just simply type a low number in and just start buying. And then you'll see your cost average go up. You don't have to do the math. You could just start buying. So watch, if I buy one share, watch the average price here. Look right here. I hope you're looking at the right spot. Watch this spot here. We're trying to get that to 21. And if you don't know how to do the math or whatever, you can just do that by adding a small amount, little bit by little bit. Watch. Okay, I'll buy one share at the bid. Got the fill. Look, it raised it from 1940, whatever the heck it was, to 1956. Now I happen to know I can buy 14 more, and that's going to put me right under the right spot. So I'm going to click buy bid. And if I can get a fill on that at 24.17, that was exact math that we put in at 24.17, I should get my stop level to 20.9959. If I can get this filled, come on, baby, fill me just so I can, just for illustrative purposes, so we can see that exact number right here. We're going to try and see this exact number, whoa, 20.99593333 show up over here. You guys following? June Kim, hi, welcome. Would DJT go up to around 45 again? It could, yeah. We don't know, but it could. I like the click the button version, yeah. What calculator is that? That's just in the Mac. If you hit Command Spacebar, you can just type in equations and calculations, and it just gives you the answer. It's called, I forget what they call it, but it's Command Spacebar on a Mac. It's not even a calculator. It's like, I don't know. Do you use Mac or PC? Definitely following. Even understanding. Okay, good job. I want to get this fill. I'm really waiting patiently for them to fill me the 14 more shares here at that exact price level so we could see exactly that number show up here, which would be 20.995333 or whatever that was, right? Well, the equation's gone now. It disappeared, but I really want that fill. I don't want anything to move around on us right now because for illustrative purposes, it would just be so awesome to see. And what's happening is I'm going to be raising my stop. I'm sorry, I'm going to be raising my cost average because that's the only action I can take. Raising your stop is a mental thing. There's nothing actually happening when you raise your stop. Does that make sense, guys? Even though the raising of the stop is what drives the show as far as the really cool system I've been teaching you, the stop doesn't exist. It's just a mental level. You can create a mechanical stop, yeah, and you can move it up and everything, but really, it's just an arbitrary visual shift that works for you. So anyway, come on, baby, fill me. And it will raise our cost average to this level, 21. And that's exactly our stop level. So this will be a zero risk position at that point. No risk, zero to that point. Get out for break even. But once I do get in, I'm going to compute a 2-to-1 to the upside and set 10 partials to get me 50% out of my position should it be moving up over the next week or two. Did we get to fill? No, that was DJT. DJT went up more. And I got another profit target out on DJT. I really want this to fill. Come on, baby. Fill me. The prices on the books haven't changed. Somebody just needs to want to get out of this. IJIC at market or so. Oh, good. Some of the prices have changed. This had a 2 next to it. Now it's a 1. Probably going to get that fill soon, and here it comes, so we got 24.217 just went by. Okay, is that it? Nope, that's DJT is flying. DJT is doing really good. I'm getting more exits on our DJT entry. That was a Red Dog Reclaim entry at such a low price. A beautiful thing. Where is that DJT? There it is. Yeah, I'm up $150 on that. 27.47 is our cost basis. Really good. Where this dotted line is right here. It's probably going to hit another target. There it is. Another target on DJT. Hit. But I'm even more excited about getting this fill here so I can show you how the math works. It ought to say 20.99. I think it was 5333333. Wow, I love the knowledge that I'm actually getting your logic here. Yeah, Randy, I think people probably there it is. It happened. Okay, what do we got? Look, isn't that incredible? Oh my god. That's just amazing, right? I did a calculation which got us the exact number we were looking for to the, what is that? The millionth digit. To the millionth digit. I was accurate in my math to infinity. Isn't that incredible? That's what I was waiting for. I just had to. Oh, God. That was good. Why is it funny? I don't know. It's funny, though. It's funny, too. It's everything. It's a fucking home run, too. And it's an explosion. What is this, the Howard Stern show? So anyway, that's what we stuck around for. Look at that, guys. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Amazing. Yeah. You know, and we just taught this last night. It's nice that I'm in 50 positions so we could find one to do it on, and then I could talk our way through it. We even got a little bit of anticipation going on. And it's class from last night live, the best examples. Yeah. Class last night live. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if I could sit in this chair longer, you know, if I was younger, healthier, or whatever, I wouldn't get blood clots or whatever. You know, I do class twice a day and live versions of it, examples of what's happening in live time throughout the day, every day, you know. But hey, what can you do? I'm older now. All right, so clear that off. There we go. And now what I need to do is put a little indication that I did add on, right? You don't want to forget. This shit gets complicated. You want to keep track. We added on at 2417. We know that exactly. And we added on 15 shares, plus 15 right there. We added on. And that increases our cost average. So we will move our break even. That's this white dotted line here, up by copying and pasting it and creating a new one. So we still have the history of the old one starting from this day, but it's right here. It's not up there. You get it? That's the most interesting thing from class last night. We're not putting that line over here now. 2417. That's not our break even. It's down here now at 21, technically 20.9959, whatever, right? And I can move the previous break even line ending to the beginning of that spot right there, because technically it's now jumped because of the purchase up to here. And we moved our stop up there as well at that point. So I'm going to also, on my chart, I'm just going to bring in the right side of that stop that I've illustrated my chart with to that point as well, because now the stop has jumped up there. And I like to keep it back here, even though you can't raise your stop at that point. I like to back illustrate it to the point of the reason why I have it there, even though technically that stop doesn't start until here. But I like to just pull it back, and it's just my own overriding my own stuff, you know, and to be able to show that that is the reason why my stop is there. It's because of that pivot right back there. It's just because of this day. But it's not at that day that I raised the stop. So it's a little bit, you know, I have to know that. How are you making those call outs in TradingView? Sorry? Oh, these call out text things? Those are over in the text note stuff. Do you see this? All this? It's called call out. I should probably put it on my favorites that you can have sitting up here like that. And now I can just grab call out anytime I want right there. Yeah. You can illustrate your chart that way, you know, like me. Or you can do it whatever way you feel you like to do it. You know, I do it this way because that's just the way I like to do it. I didn't like learn it from someone. I didn't copy anybody. And it's okay if you copy me. That's fine. It's a great place to start for sure. But the point here is, you know, I've marked up my chart so that I can follow along what's going on, and I'm using some of this. There might be better ways. I don't know. They have a new thing here called Price Note. I don't even know how that works. Oh, that's fucking awesome. It's a price note. Oh, that's cool. Oh, can I add to that text at all? What else can you do in there? Text. Oh, you can. So I could say plus 15. Oh, it puts it on the line. That's kind of weird. Well, whatever. I don't think that's useful for that purpose. Maybe for another purpose. But, you know, they've added some new things here. That's interesting. Comment, price label, signpost, flag mark. You can actually put a tweet in there. Wow. That's cool. All right. I need to continue to check my positions because guess what? There could be others I need to add on to right now, all right? We don't want them to get too far away from me. Marvell. Can I add to Marvell, you guys? You guys are becoming masters here. Let's see how quickly you can answer that question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Michael says no. So with 13 seconds, you figured out no, I cannot add. Now, the amazing thing would be if you can correctly answer why not. Okay, why not? No, but you can raise your stop to a 2 to 1. You set your 50% exits. Okay, let's see what Michael says, because that is not correct. Because it hasn't presented a new stop. That is correct, Michael and Randy. My initial position is here, at which time I set my stop down here. The next day, 2 days later, right here when it broke over the top here, I raised my stop here. I technically could have added on, but I think I missed it or something. But I still can raise my stop, and I raised it to here. My question is now, today, can I add on? The answer is correct on both of you, which is no. But the reason is because a new stop hasn't formed. And if it did, it would have to be above my break even. Right? So pretty cool stuff, continue to hammer this into your brain because it's, definitely takes classes to get it. I can't do anything. My hands are tied. I can't add. I would love to, but I can't add. As far as the 2 to 1, I've been taking those profits. I mean, I don't think that's what you were saying. You were saying to change your 2 to 1 if you take, but you were getting ahead of yourself because we can't add yet. But right now, we're at 2.78 to 1. So I've gotten all my exits on Marvell. And I'm doing good. I'm at 2.78 to 1 on the reward side. It's looking good. But I haven't really done an add-on yet. So my profit is $123 on what I've got so far. Oh, and it looks like there are some more take profits set. Oh, you know why? Because I have to compute it from the original position stop. That's the real 2 to 1. So right now I'm at 1.7 to 1, actually. 2 to 1. My final targets should be finally hit around 2 to 1, 96.71. And actually, what I did is I just extended a bunch of take profits all the way up to 100. I just manually overrode that, and I said, you know what, this is probably running to 100. You see how you can know everything and you can use it to your advantage. So Randy says, good job, Michael, by the way. But see, here I'm getting a 2 to 1, and I'm tiering all of my exits for 50% out to the 2 to 1. That takes me to like 97. What I said in my head when I set up my targets, though, on this is, why don't I take a couple more all the way up to 100? Because this thing's going to go to 100. Okay, so that's just, you can do that. Once you're through your 2 to 1s, you still need to take little partials out on incredible days. And this is a class I haven't done with you guys yet, but especially if it goes parabolic or something, you need to actually fully exit on a parabolic. So we'll get to those times. When you exit on a parabolic, usually that's the end of the trade. On the chart, for the stock, in general, with investors, with traders, it's called an exhaustion extension. And you get out on those days or that week or whatever, when it makes that huge run parabolically. And what you hope is that that's the end of something that you've been snowballing into. Why? Because when you exit like that, that's the holy grail exit. Because that is at a high. That is not on it coming back down to a stop. That is way up, and you just go, you know what? This is damn fine. And you either start taking partials as it keeps blasting higher, or you just get all out because you think that's the tippy top, and maybe you're right, and then it falls from there, and you got the tippy top. It's an exception to the whole system, but actually it's part of the whole system, and you hope you have snowballed multiple add-ons for months, maybe a year, but it could be months, or if it's a day trade, it's intraday. But, you hope to have snowballed and leveraged risk-free into that parabolic move. That's when you get the really tasty return. On your original risk unit, which was $100, you might get something like a 20 or a 40 or a 50 or 100 to 1 at that point. If you've snowballed a couple times and you're leveraged up basically on the position risk-free, and then it goes parabolic and you exit on the exhaustion extension on the parabolic, that's part of the system that I haven't taught you yet. That's like the ideal. That's what you're really going for. That's the holy grail exit. That makes sense, guys? So just in case you see that and you're experimenting with this and you get that and you actually see that happen, make sure you do it, okay? Because you don't want to be sitting there hoping for that it'll pull back and create a new base and continue from there. No, parabolics are exhaustions patterns. They're ends of trades. All right, I got to go through more of these positions. Marvell, that was Marvell. Vimeo, CNDS Prim, Varna. Got enough a little while ago, I think, on that one. Okay, I got on Varna on Catalyst Day, and it's been taking partial profits up. I got on Lunar the other day. Okay, yeah, I'm still sitting at kind of my break even. Excuse me on that. G-Wire. Guidewire software. What is my break even? Is that really my break even? I must have added. Oh shit, I might have missed the add-on on this. I need to go through my trades and see what's going on with G-Wire, because I think that should have been snowballed. Oh no, I wasn't able to. Can you see why? Let's see if you guys now can just see these things as quickly as I can. Took me a minute. But here's my break even from I got into this trade on the 9th of October. And then recently, bam, it broke out. I can raise my stop, whatever it was, to right here, 184-ish. But can I add on? Wow. No. And again, why? But actually, this is a little different. Why? Hasn't got a 2-to-1 yet. Okay, right. That rule is a safeguard. It's not the logical reason why, but it is a rule that I gave you. It's like a rule to help you that I mentioned last night, that it needs to go 2-to-1 before you can add on. In this case, that's not the reason why. Michael says, hasn't raised enough to add any shares. Basically, the stop, which I could put right here, is at my break even. The stop needs to get above the break even. That's technically why, Randy. The stop needs to get above the break even, preferably quite a bit above. It only got to my break even on this last breakout. So great. What I can do, however, is I can raise my stop. So stop for a second and listen along. I can raise my stop to the level under there, 184. And it happens to be to my break even. It's coincidental. It is coincidental. But that's great. It's a nice coincidence. That's okay. The stop now I can raise. It's a mental stop. It gets raised to my break even. That's great. That means it's a riskless trade at this point. I'm already up $58 on it. But now that's my new stop area, soon enough it probably should pull back, and then it will break again, and I'll have a new stop that's higher form. And when that happens, then I can add on that breakout moment. And so you just said not high enough to make stop higher than break even. Yes, exactly. Yeah. And it'll be cool when you'll be able to see that like right away as you're just thumbing through your positions that you've been holding for a month or whatever, waiting for these moments to come along to attack your prey. And you'll be able to see that. Okay, continuing to move up on my positions, MMYT. Okay, good. This is coming off of my stop. Unfortunately, it's very close to my stop, but it's having a good day, so maybe I'll end up staying in it. Marvell, Payo. Oh, wow. Look at that, guys. Payo. Am I fully out on that as far as 50% to target? Because that is way, I think that's 2-to-1. Can you guys eyeball see that? Here's my risk level. Up here, it's got to be more than 2-to-1. I mean, can you kind of see that? Michael says, I don't have YouTube on a large enough screen. It looked like the new low was just a tad higher than entry. Yeah, something like that. You need it to be obvious. Payo says, okay, it looks like it. It looks like it. So now what I want to do is I want to make sure I've been taking my profits, that I had set it up. Okay, the good news is, yes, I did. I will do the call outs to show that here. I initially bought 175. I then, what's half of that? Like 82 or something. No, 87, roughly. So I take 10 exits. I should make them close to 88.7, right? Guess what my exits were? 10 exits of 9 shares. That's exactly what I'm showing in my history. This all happened automatically for me without me even looking. But believe it or not, they all happened, all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They all happened on that first day. Because that's 2-to-1. There it is. That's 2-to-1 right there to the tippy top. I happened to get to the tippy top. It was perfect. So now I'm just hanging in. I'm just holding. And I'm looking for it to sag a little bit and then break out again. Then I'll be able to raise my stop to the new stop level it's indicating and buy enough shares to move my cost average to that stop, which re-leverages me in. And I've already taken some profits out. I've already, what I call, skimmed some drizzled profits that were in there by taking out 50% to the 2-to-1. These are different components that we've created an entire system for, you see? All these different components. They're raising the stop to go risk-free, taking 2-to-1 to 50%. They work together. There's not a reason why one of them has to have the other one. That's something for us, the smarter engineers putting together the whole system, to understand. None of those separate rules or things, components that are going on are depend on each other necessarily. But if you want, as a system, this other result that uses all those different techniques in concert harmoniously, then you do them all. So that's why we do them all together as a harmonious system. But they're different components. Okay, we got risk-free leverage add-ons over here. And we got 2-to-1 50% exiting over here. What else is there? There's a parabolic exiting whenever that comes to get a holy grail exit, and then starting with a pilot position, and then waiting for bases, understanding base technique, and you put all these things together. Seems like you have a high percent of these working out. Have you figured out a success percent? No, but I would say that I get stopped out. I would have to say that I get stopped out of 10, 20, or 30% of them. So I think you're right. I think a majority of them start working out. But some of them also, I exit at break even, or in the risk area, or at a slight profit. So some of them are average results. Others fully stop out, and others hit the 2-to-1 and give me all my profits, and I'm waiting through that, and others snowball. Like I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that have snowballed. 7 now. Like they start as pilots, and then when I add on, they end up getting moved down to snowball. Oh, I got to move IJIC down there, right? Didn't I add on? Where is it here? IJIC. I need to move that down into my folder. There it is. Okay. IJIC. Yeah, we added on to that. And so I now need to move that down. Move to group Snowball. I just have a group called Snowball right now. I'm looking for the acronym for it. And Michael says, so you let the other 50% of your position just sit till a pullback. Yep. Even if it continued up, let's say payout hit 16 or 18 before a pullback. So it's a great question, Michael. It's okay. I want to tell you this. It's okay for you to continue to take similar profits like you did, 10 exits up to 2-to-1 after you've gotten there, to continue taking 10 more exits to the 4-to-1. You can do that, but the thing is, I like to manually do those. And the reason is because it can go parabolic. And now you've ruined your chance to be able to get a Holy Grail exit by presetting exits up to the 4-to-1. And what I said this morning, maybe 30 minutes ago while I was talking about this stuff, is that when you have a big day, those are the days when you should take a little bit out of your 50% that you have left. And if you have another big day the next day and another one, the whole thing's parabolicking, but even if it's not technically parabolicking somehow, but they've been really good days and not just little teeny days, and you end up getting all out of your position, great, that's okay. Because you got to wait for a pullback anyway to get back in, and it went way up. And something guided you to be taking exits. And I can almost, promise you, guarantee you, but I can't, but I can almost guarantee you that when stocks do that, when they hit 4-to-1s to your initial risk on your entry, they're going ballistic, and that is near the end of a move, and they're going to pull back. And so it ends up being a self-fulfilling prophecy in that becomes a great spot to get out. But it might not be perfect, but it should make you very happy, because most of these you sit through holding after a 2-to-1, and then it goes up a little bit more, and then it pulls back, and you never took any further exits, and now you're sitting on your 50% position, but you took some profits. So when it goes 4-to-1 and you have reasons to get out because it's like big, huge moves, and you get out, even if it goes further from there, you feel pretty great, because that is a situation that's rare, and you got a great exit. Like I'm up 5-to-1 on something. I forget which one it was, but I'm sitting holding at 5-to-1 right now, 50% of my position, just because it gradually went up there and it never put in a big day. Yet there I am sitting on 5-to-1 now. That's fine. I'm happy sitting at 5-to-1. And if I want, I can just exit, but it's behaving. So I'm going to let it behave. And I've already been taking profits out, right? So if I'm at 5-1 and it has a panic day and I get out at 3-1 on the rest of my 50%, I'm happy. Remember we talked about last night, you've got to be happy with exiting at points that it comes down to and you not getting that maximum. Because part of the system is that whole snowballing. You tell yourself you're okay with that. But what I didn't mention last night is that also you're able to get those holy grail exits on the parabolics. So in the end, by setting yourself up for all that, you're okay with taking those drop down exits because you know sometimes 1 out of 40 you're going to get a parabolic exit and you're going to get a very nice, and if it happens to coincidentally be something that's been snowballing for many months, your position size could be quite big and the result could be very rewarding. But even one add-on, maybe 2 add-ons, should get you to about 6 to 10 to 1 on your initial pilot position risk overall. What do you mean by take a little bit? So you have 50% of your position left. So 10% of that, maybe, so 10 exits, keep 10 exits in the cannon. They say, don't blow all your, what do they call it? Gun, don't blow all your powder in one shot. Like, because the war could keep coming. Like you need more potentially. So I think if you take 5% or 10% at any point, it doesn't change too much your ability to participate in further gainage, and yet you skimmed. You took some profits off the top. Go T, gotta go, got to go, cool, got it. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Let's keep looking through here. But actually, Michael said something. What classifies a snowballed position? 3 ads? No, I'd say 2. I'd even say 2. Maybe because you and me and Randy and then whoever else starts doing this and learns this and stuff starts doing this. Maybe we can refer to some positions as a triple position for if it had 2 ads, so initial and then add. That's like a triple position, or a quadruple, or a 5x position, or if we can refer to those with that number as to kind of like help us to understand how many entries there were, right? But the other way to describe it could be, it's gotten risk-free, and so, but how big is it in terms of the number of shares to your risk? I don't even know how you could calculate that, because if your risk is break even, it's a divide by infinity error. Divide by 0 error. So I didn't even know what number you could assign to that. Well, I guess you could say, okay, for $100 of risk, for example, that's my risk unit. For $100 of risk, I could get 10 shares. But here I am sitting on 250 shares. Then I know it's a 25x position, right? It's leveraged, 25x risk free. So, you and I, guys, we will be able to refer to these things better as they occur, and we'll be able to talk about them. I'm at $430 instead of $500 and not gaining. Is that because I think that I might need to check on something, might be pulling back in my positions? Let's see here. Upstart's doing good. DJT is doing good. Indy's doing fine. It's hanging in there. And those are doing fine. I'm going to put Upstart over into my pilots. And DJT I'm going to put over there as well to my pilots. They're not day trades, but Indy is kind of a day trade. So keep that going. Let me see what it might be that's pulling back. It looks like possibly Netflix. dragged me down like $50 because maybe it's pulling back a little today. Yeah, that's what it is. I think that's all it is. It's nothing too big, but actually Futu is a little bit under my break even. Oh, look, it's on the way to the stop there. Another thing you got to take care of is that if you've taken profits up a 2-to-1 and gotten at least 1-to-1, if it comes back to your break even, you probably should sell. But you also simultaneously don't want to choke off a trade that could become a snowball. So you have to balance that. If you had a very good profit-taking move, maybe 3-to-1, it comes all the way back down to your break even over a couple of days. I mean, you have the right to sell it at your break even and just close it out. But the reason why you set your stop to where it is in the first place was because you wanted to give it the freedom to scoop down and come back up and continue and progress and then eventually snowball. Yeah, it's going to be really hard, Randy, on paper. I don't even know if there's math you can do on paper to help. Or maybe you mean in the system as in a paper trade. But anyway, yeah. Or you can do it on charts as well. Remember, you can already do it. You know, the in-the-moment execution is a different story, but you could already look at charts and start to get accustomed to where you would get in, where you would add, when you would raise your stop, where you would put your cost average. Maybe you could even work through the math to figure out how many shares you would add on at the 2-to-1, how many you would take out. I mean, you don't have to get super detailed with it because it sort of automatically happens when you're doing them. But if you could just get like entry points, stop raise level points, break evens, and mark up charts like that could be useful. I got to look at more of these. Okay, so Upstart's doing super well. DJT, those are at the top of my gainers today. App is flying, and I just got to double check I'm taking profits on that. Yes. Palantir, I'm sitting pretty on that. Look at the risk unit. The initial risk unit is so tiny, just like on Upstart. My risk unit, looking back, when it's way up here, you're going to say, wow, and it's way up here, you're going to say, wow, what a tiny risk unit. You're now at 7-to-1 or whatever, right? Well, that's what happened on Palantir also by getting in on Catalyst Day. Getting on ER Catalyst Days on stocks that have been trending up and up and up and up. It's one of the best things you can do. You mean if I had done this, we would have this? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You do 10 of those and you're ready to go real money on it. You do 2 or 3 of those and, you should practice with paper. But, at a certain point, you're going to get it so much that if it were like an exam, like a physics exam or a chemistry class or something, you'd ace it every time. After you've illustrated, after you've marked up 10 charts, by the time you get to 5, 6, 7, 8, you don't have to prove anything. You have it down. But your first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, are going to be important to look at and have checked by the teacher. But I'll bet you after 5, and you mark up a 6th one, you're going to be 100% correct. And you mark up a 7th one, you're going to be 100% correct. You mark up an 8th one, you're going to be 100% correct. And you're going to be like, why am I even doing? I've got this. And when I want to get to 10, I want to say I got 10. Then you can do a 9th one, you're going to be 100% correct. And you do a 10th one, you're going to be 100% correct. I'm pretty sure. You won't have much to learn after marking up 5 charts. But you will have a lot to learn for those first 5 chart markups. Okay, so Palantir WGS. I just got into this the other day. See, look at how this is marked up. You can see how this is like, what you could do. On my list of things to do before Monday morning. Market is closed Monday morning. Market is closed Monday, you guys. It's Veterans Day. Monday, November 11th markets are closed. That'll be a holiday, and I'll be here on Tuesday. So is there an ad here, you guys? No. And then we do a live one and fuck it all up. Probably not, Michael, because the good thing is you're going to start with a pilot size position. My pilot size positions are 0.15%. So if you use something like that, you know, the impact is like getting bruised from getting into the ring to box somebody. The impact is not even getting a cut, but maybe you got hit and you can get bruised. It's quite recoverable to start with it. And you see, by knowing that you're going to snowball, this is not part of other people's add-on systems, stacking and pyramiding and stuff. The way we do it with the snowballing and increasing in leverage, by knowing that that's going to happen ahead of time, you're able to start smaller with less. I mean, risk is the word I want to, it's a word like risk, with less danger, with less risk than your normal, like when you go for a 1% position size or a 2% position size. So that said, it's going to take a couple entries before it's ramped up. Ooh, ramp. That might be the acronym. That was good. Or maybe even ramp up if it can, or ramped, or ramp X. Ramp. I like that. So anyway, but what I can tell you here on this WGS is this is a low cheat entry today. Isn't that interesting? You could get into WGS today on a low cheat entry with a stop under here. That's a new position. It's not the same. It doesn't work for me on my positioning because I can't really raise my stop until we break out. But for a cheat entry, this is a nice way to get into something that looks like it could be something that goes somewhere at a cheat price as it works its way up to higher prices. Then there'll be a mid-cheat entry and a high cheat entry. And then eventually it breaks out, and now it's not a cheat, it's a breakout entry, which, by the way, you can use as well to add or not. Depends on how you want to play it. But at that point, if you were able to raise stops above your break even every time, you could have had 4 add-ons before the breakout. So bases, boring bases, are some of the most exciting places for price to be moving around on a high catalyst, high growth stock. Mid caps tend to be the best here. So that's the situation on WGS. It's an entry today. It's a cheat entry. I'll let people know. Right underneath there is 73.35. So the stop should be 73. It's really 72.99, but yeah. On WGS, if you got all 3 cheat entries with a 0.125 position, snowball it. How does that compare to waiting for the breakout with a full position? Well, number one, your cost average will be lower for your entry. Your cost average will be lower. And it'll end up being at your stop by the time it breaks out instead of having to risk loss. Right? And because you snowballed it, it could probably, it depends, but it could probably be anywhere from 2 to 3 times your pilot position size, your initial risk size and stuff, by the time the breakout happens. And so, for instance, for me, that's $100, right? But if I decided to skip all that and just get the breakout for the same strength of size, for the same weight, I'd have to take $300 of risk, and I would actually be setting myself up to lose that $300 situationally. Whereas with the snowball technique in the pullback with the multiple chi entries, you'd end up having a cost average at your stop when it breaks out, which would be below the breakout entry spot. And you'd have that same position size at no risk. Right? Because, you only understand what I'm saying because we had class last night. This is complex stuff. Everything coming out of my mouth is building on what you understand about how this works. So were you able to understand what I just said? That explanation? Yeah, you got it. Okay, yeah. Does that make sense? Because this is like a science experiment. It's like a science, But there's your cheat entry. I'm already in, and I can't get that cheat entry because I can't raise my stop, and it just it would not work. But if the next cheat entry comes, you can enter there. Like if you're not in WGS, this is a great spot to get in, low cheat entry. But if the next cheat entry comes along, provides a higher stop that I'm comfortable with because it's mature and not just a blip, 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 then I will be able to potentially add on before the breakout. And then I'll set my 50% to the 2-to-1 and be setting myself up to be taking some profits out so that even if it doesn't break out and go, I'll have skimmed some more and then it comes back down to my break even and I've actually made money. Like the whole 2-to-1, 50% to the 2-to-1 component is what makes the adventure listen. The 50% to the 2-to-1 is what makes the journey profitable. To say nothing of when you actually find the gold. That's crazy. Like this system has been designed so that you can be making money on the way to the goal. And if you don't hit the goal, you've actually made money on the journey, on the way. And you don't even care to. That's the amazing thing, Michael. Because you're not really doing it to make the money on the way. You're doing it to get a large snowballed zero risk position that goes parabolic and you get a holy grail exit. That's really what you're waiting for. Right? So to make money along the way is amazing. Yes, sir. Yeah, I see the bigger setup with this strategy. As far as today being a cheat entry, would it be best to wait till end of day to see how this cheat entry candle finishes? So if you need that, you can surgically look at how this candle has been forming today intraday. So we'd go over to the intraday chart on WGS and we'd look how reliable are the levels that we're at right now. And yeah, it's a little bit, there's not a lot of volume pushing it up. It needs to backtest, bounce, and fill in a little bit and get a little strength there. You're taking a little risk. But remember, by getting in here, if it does work, if by getting in here with a risk to stop down to here, you're already setting yourself up to 2-to-1 before it even breaks out. In other words, you're going to get 2-to-1 before other people even get in for a breakout, and you're going to get 2-to-1 even if the trade doesn't work out, if it goes up and tries to break out and get up to the top of there, so you're getting a great you're setting yourself up for a nice reward. Then if it were to break out and maybe go 4-to-1 more, you're getting 6-to-1 total because you got in so early and low, to say nothing of adding on and free rolling and snowballing into cheats and stuff. But here's the thing: the reason why you should have more faith in getting in this base is because of the initial catalyst. Super strong. It's on something that's been going up for ages here. It's on a run. It came out of a long dormancy. It moved up a ton. I mean, from like $1 to $10. That's 1,000% right here. Based, broke out, went from $12 to $21. That's almost 100% gain. It started to hang out in that area. Overall, matured to about $35 from there in a quarter, which is another another 50% gain. Put in a base for a month there. That entry at 36 quickly became 62. You see what I'm saying? This is one hell of a performer. That's what you have to factor. You can't just look at this and go, I'm not sure that this is really going to do something. You got to factor in the left side, because the left side tells you how people feel about it and how it behaves and how it's behaving. So that alone makes me think that this might be the last chance we get at this price. It could go up big tomorrow, up to here, 86. Because this is a strong stock that makes strides. Okay, it pauses sometimes for half a month or a month, and maybe that's what it'll do, and then maybe you get stopped out. But you never know. And if you want, you can get in here at the cheat entry and put your stop at the bottom of the catalyst candle from 2 weeks ago. You can do whatever you want, so you don't get stopped out in case it sags into this a little bit more, and you're able to keep an eye on your position and build it later. Maybe you'll get a lower cheat down here at 70 later if it starts to pull back more and it becomes like a 2 or 3 month base up here, kind of a high type flag. So there's many ways to play it out, or you just let yourself get stopped out and then wait for a new low cheat entry in a month. So many different ways to approach it. FOXO. Did I get my exits on IonQ? Yes, okay. Hood. I'm looking for, based on my positions, if there's any ads. I think I've looked through everything, and there's not. Wolf has pulled back after moving. All right. And the only other thing I'm in right now is Indy, which is not really holding up. Yeah, in fact, this is pretty much the stop on Indy. Going to go stop out at Indy. Where are you? Indy. Indy right there. All right. I get to stop out for only 0.3R. So that's good. A lot of the other stuff is working out. Upstart continues. Here, I'll pull that up over here. I'm at 150 gains. Actually, 190 gains. But I've taken $50 of that out already. So I'm up 183 in total. But I've got 140 still left in it in gains. And letting it ride. All right. I'm going to take Indy off of the radar there. I haven't even looked at any new opportunities. This is just playing with the fire that we have in front of us so far. Yeah, I don't think anything else is really moving. It's a Friday before a 3-day weekend. LiPo, this is probably a split because it says it's up 900%. I don't think so. Yeah, that's just a split, and they miscalculated. Forgot to update their database. INOD is up 50%. 81% bullish candle. Okay. INOD. Yeah. that's outstanding. But I think, we've missed that boat already. So, yeah, I think we're good. AAOI, I heard that come across the squawk. Let me take a look at that because that's definitely a mover. Okay, it's about to break out to new all-time highs. I'm going to get into that. Risk to stop will be to 18. It's at 25, so that's $7 a risk. Getting into AAOI right now for a swing. $7 risk. $100 divided by 7 is 14 shares. Here we go. It's already set to 14, coincidentally. Okay, boom, I'm in, and now immediately I go and take 7 exits of 1 share up to 2 to 1 because I did all the math, okay, and I can't divide into less than that. So here's 2 to 1. Is that $200? Is it 1? Put 1 right in the middle. 2, 3, 4. Oops, those have all been set today. I got to redo those all. I know it's my 2 to 1 because that's about $200, you see. 1, 2, and I'm just sort of like guesstimating here. 3, 4. I want to get 7 exits set up. 4, 5 of 1 share. And why not 10? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because I got 14 shares, and half of that is 7. So I got to do something to correct for that. You see? So that's why I took 7 exits of 1, whereas we normally take 10 exits. And my first exit's going to be at... Why so high? Something's not right here. At $56? At 28? Something's not right here. Should be $28. Oh, I guess I must have just missed seeing the first exit. Where is it? It should be around $18. What? This is so strange. It did not put my exits at the right spots. Okay, $200 divided by 7. I should be putting 1 exit at every $28. Okay, that's exactly correct. All right, so my first exit will be at $26.85. It's at $24.78. So yeah, I got to wait some days to start getting those exits. And my stop, I said, was 18. So now I'm going to put the other 7 shares on a good till cancel stop at just under 18. 17.91. Fine, perfect. Boom, done. Now I can just leave that, you see? It's set up. It's done. I can look at other stuff, whatever I want to do. I can just let that do its thing. But the most important thing that I need me for is trying to find spots where I might be able to raise my stop, and then does that constitute an add-on? So that's why I have to be here all day. All right, you guys, have a good morning. I'm going to shut everything down. Have some breakfast. Have a good one. And have a great weekend if I don't talk to you again. I see that here. You're welcome. What'd you say? I see that here. Your pilot. It's making a weird thing. You did enter a stop. Yeah. Okay, guys. Have a good one. All right. Bye now. I'm ready to stand up.